In this video, you're going to learn exactly how to run a design thinking workshop from start to finish, AJ and Smart style. This is an almost 2-hour live training video where we invited 9 participants to our office here in Berlin. These 9 participants didn't know what the design thinking process was when they arrived here, so we walked them through the whole process step by step. This video is going to give you a unique glimpse into how participants interact with each other and how they engage with workshop exercises in real life. You're also going to get free access to the slide deck that we use to run this workshop and also to the exercise guide that is going to help you run this exact workshop yourself. You'll find the link to the resources in the comments section below, so be sure to check those out. Before we dive into the very first exercise, which is our icebreaker, it's important to note that we like to kick off every workshop on a very strong note with a nice introduction. This is very simple and it just includes introducing yourself and your team, going through the agenda for the day, and also expectation setting with your participants. You can find out more on this in the resources below. Okay, I think we're ready. Let's dive straight in. So we kicked off this workshop running our favorite icebreaker ever, and it's called My First Job. This is the perfect icebreaker for teams that know each other because they're going to discover something new about the person in their team. And it's perfect for teams that don't know each other because it's going to be a great way to break down barriers and form a connection right from the beginning. Here are the materials you're going to need to run it, and here's the amount of time you'll need. It's very important for you as the facilitator to demonstrate exactly how to run this exercise before you let your participants off to actually do it themselves. So all you need to do is you need to show your participants that they need to write their name, their first job, and what they learned from it on a sticky note, and then they're just going to share it with their team. Now let's take a look at how we actually ran it in the workshop. Come on, this way. You say your name, your first job, and what you learned from it. So I'm Rebecca. My first job was that I was Mrs. Claus, like Santa Claus's wife. I actually was, like, it's not even a lie. And yeah, I used to like help Santa with the presents and stuff with the kids. And basically what I learned from that is that I like kids. I like working with children. Okay, so just take a minute to do that in your groups. Your name, your first job, what you learned from it. Go.
Okay, I'll start. So, name is Dom. My first job was selling tickets for sightseeing buses in Budapest downtown. And what I learned from it was that it's a very hard job, standing for 8 hours, trying to pull in people to buy tickets, and I also learned that I never want to do that again.
And learn to identify the type of ceramics by leaking.
Okay. All right. Are we ready? I love that idea. I used to sell dairy products. Sell dairy products. Is that it? Okay. I love that. Did you? Yeah, you actually are. Honestly, no, the suit, I will be changing after the break and coming out as Mrs. Claus. Did you learn something new about each other? Did you learn a new thing? Yeah? Any funny stories that anyone would like to share? Any funny first jobs? Ooh, go on. What was your first job?
Well, my first job I was selling plates.
Selling plates?
Dinner plates.
Oh, nice.
And what I learned is how to identify the type of ceramics by leaking the plate.
Oh my God, a skill that you need to have.
I can still do that.
Is that what you were doing over there? Oh, yeah, that all makes sense. Just before you ate your food. Okay, nice. Thanks for sharing. We love doing that as an icebreaker. We feel like no matter what team, company you go into, it works because it's really lighthearted. It kind of pulls people out of this very serious mood or like serious form. And even if people know each other, they're going to learn something funny or new. And even if they don't know each other, it's a nice one to break the ice. So thank you for doing that. Yeah, that's definitely bone china. Oh, hey, we're back. So now that we had everyone warmed up, people were laughing, as you could see, we were having lots of fun. We wanted to give people more context around the design thinking process. And also, more importantly, we wanted to demystify the whole concept of creativity. And we did this by teaching them about creative confidence. So let's take a look. So, creativity. I would like a show of hands. I want to ask the question of how many people in this room think that they are creative? If you want to put up your hand. Okay. Okay. That's not too bad. Normally, like, research shows that when you ask this question in a room full of adults, only half of them put up their hand, and that's actually what just happened. Because a lot of people actually tend to equate creative ability with artistic ability. And this is all stemmed from maybe when we were children in school and somebody's told us we're bad at drawing, or you've just kind of made that link in your head that because I can't draw, that means I'm not creative. And that's just not the case. We believe that everyone can be creative, and that's actually just fact. It's just depends on who is there, facilitator, to be able to kind of unlock that creativity within you. So all you really need to foster creativity is creative confidence. And that's just building up the confidence to take risks and try something new. So creative confidence is the ability to take on problems that don't have a clear answer. It's the ability to show unfinished works. It's the ability to participate in something you might not be good at. And it's the willingness to try something and fail. And that's the kind of mindset that we want to get into right now today. It's this kind of like, okay, we don't have all the answers. We're trying to solve a problem. We have no idea how we're going to do it, but let's just feckin', try not to curse, give it a go. Can we do that? You're going to have to bleep me out because my language is going to be atrocious. Okay. Will I try that one again? No, but anyway, we're going to try just be as creative as possible. And I even don't like that word. We are going to try take as many risks as possible and push ourselves out of our comfort zone. And I suppose, why does creativity require being comfortable with uncertainty? Because innovative ideas are by their very nature not yet or not fully defined. And I just think much more important than your ability to draw is your willingness to try new things. So it's time to try something new. I'm not going to say the thing I said earlier. Earlier when we were, this is okay to do actually, right? So earlier when I was practicing, I came to this slide and I was like, okay, so it's time to try something new. And then I just turned and I was like, take off all your clothes. So I was like, is that too weird? That's not what we're going to do. We're going to imagine that was why you had to sign the consent form. So I'm going to set a timer on my phone. I should have a time timer. You're going to take 45 seconds and draw a picture or a portrait of your neighbor. Go for it. You're just going to be drawing circles, lines, dots. Oh, sorry. Also on these, you have a piece of paper here in front of you. There's A4 pages in front of you, and you can draw it on those. All right. 20 seconds left. Ten seconds left. Time. Okay. Drop the pens and have a look. Oh my God, I love them though. It's very good though. Okay, so so how did that feel? How did that make you feel? Did you like that activity? Stressed. Stressed? Yeah, what words would you use to describe how you felt during that? Anyone else have any words? Excited. Excited? Freedom? Yeah. Nice. I like that. Excited or stressed, freedom. Yeah.
Out of comfort.
Out of your comfort zone. Yes. Yeah. Under time pressure as well. But also, I feel like you can all draw something. You're able to visualize something. So that's the whole point of it. We want to just show you that no matter what, under what time pressure, you can do it. You can get pen to paper and you can visualize something. That's beautiful, Dom. I really feel like your one needs to be. I feel like your one needs to be shown. Chris's is actually, Jesus. Oh my God.
I look 10 years older than the...
Look at this. That's art. That is seriously good. Sorry.
Sad though. Sad. I don't want
He's contemplative. Very contemplative. Okay, thank you for taking part in that. So now we're going to kind of get into the meat of it and talk about what is design thinking. Does anybody know already what design thinking is? No? It's all right. So design thinking is a human-centered collaborative approach to problem solving that is creative, iterative, and practical. That just sounds complicated again. I think what you just need to remember here is that it's human-centered. Design thinking is you're designing and creating and solving problems for a particular type of person. You're constantly thinking about the person and what their needs are. And it starts with thinking about people, as I say, what they need and what they want. So any product, service, anything that you're designing, you're thinking about the needs of the consumer or the customer. The design thinking attitude looks really complicated, but all I really want to show you is at the very beginning of this process, this is how you're going to feel. Your brain is going to feel scattered. You're going to be like researching and understanding your user. It's going to feel a bit like, what the hell is this? How am I going to design a product to meet this person's needs? And then towards the very end, you're going to feel a bit more clear and focused on what to actually build and design for this person. There's a whole process. There's 5 stages to it. And it kind of looks complicated, but it really isn't. You're really going to understand these by the end of today. The first stage is empathize, and that's you're just empathizing with your users, kind of getting into their frame of mind, figuring out what they need. You're going to define your users' needs, their problem, and your insights. You're going to go into an ideation phase where we're going to come up with multiple ideas. Then you're going to come to the prototype phase where you're going to actually build something for your user. And then you're going to get to the very end, which is the test. You're going to test this prototype. So that's the 5 phases of the design thinking process. And it's not linear. It's not like, well, today in a workshop, we are going to go through this in a linear process. But when you're really getting immersed into this, is like, you'll go to the empathize phase, you'll define, ideate. But once you test, you're going to figure out that, oh, this product actually needs a few changes. I need to actually change this part and change that part. So you'll test and go all the way back again to ideate again. So it's like a loop. You're constantly iterating and changing things and going around in a loop. That will make more sense when we get to the end. Okay, so the design thinking process contains both divergent and convergent thinking. Really, really, put simply, divergent thinking is where you kind of open up your thinking and generate multiple ideas to a certain challenge. So you're just in generation zone there. You're just like, okay, how can we actually solve this problem with loads of different ideas? And then you're going to converge. Convergent thinking then is more like refining your ideas and kind of narrowing them down and saying, okay, maybe this idea will work. Let's really focus on that. So throughout the 5 phases of the design thinking process, you're going to be constantly going through like, okay, we're flaring up here, we're thinking loads of ideas. Let's refine that down right now. Okay, we've picked one thing. Let's just come up with loads of ideas again around how we can better that. And then for prototyping and testing, you're really, really refining your thinking here, and you're trying to focus in on the proper solution. Does that make sense? Yes. Right now? Yeah? Does anyone have any questions around that complicated looking diagram? Or yeah? Are you okay? So we're going to get started. This is where I need your participation, your engagement. It's going to be very active. But there will also be things that you're learning as well while we're doing this. So step 1, the empathize phase. So empathy, as you know, when you feel what the other person is feeling and you can mirror their expressions, opinions, and their hopes. And why is this important in the design thinking process? It's because we need to discover people's explicit and implicit needs so that you can meet them, though your design solutions. Through your design solutions. So now that we've introduced the very first phase of the design thinking process, which is the empathize phase, we now need to create user personas. A user persona in the design thinking process is like creating a character for a story, essentially. It's a made-up person who represents the real people who are going to use or buy a product or service. We give this made-up person a name, an age, a job, and even hobbies. And we also think about what sort of problems they might have and what they really actually want. This helps us understand what real people need so that we can design things that are super helpful and can solve their actual problems. One way of creating user personas in the design thinking process is through conducting interviews, surveys, and observations with your target audience, with your potential customers. You can also create predefined user personas to use as a starting point for your design projects. And these predefined personas are often based on common characteristics, needs, and behaviors of a specific group of users. They can serve as templates that can be customized to fit the context of your project. Using predefined personas can really save time and can help you begin your design process with a better understanding of your potential users. So for the purpose of this particular training, we gave our participants a predefined user persona. Her name was Kathy. Here it is. This is Kathy. She's 67. Her pains, like the problems that she experiences is that she has arthritis in her hands. Her hobbies are knitting and cooking. So you can imagine if she has arthritis in her hands, that's going to be very difficult to do. And then her needs, she needs to find ways to get through her day without pain. So that's our kind of persona. That is the person we are going to be designing a product for today. Okay, so now that we know who our user is and we understand their needs and wants a bit better, we're going to dive into our very, very first exercise, which is called the empathy map. So the empathy map is going to help teams gain a deeper understanding of their target users and their customers. It encourages participants to put themselves in their user's shoes and explore their thoughts, feelings, needs, and motivations. It's going to give them a really clear understanding of the challenge that the user is going to be facing. So how do you run the empathy map exercise? Let me show you exactly how to do it. So step 1, you need to prepare your materials. Here's what you're going to need. In addition, you're going to need to create an empathy map template, which is super easy. There's loads of different variations of empathy map templates out there, but normally you would see an empathy map template which consists of at least 4 different quadrants. One that says do, think, say, and feel. Our empathy map template included an additional 3 fields, which were jobs, pains, and gains. And we included these because we really wanted our participants to understand our user and to really get into their frame of mind. Step 2, you're going to select your target user. So you're going to choose a specific user or customer segment you want to empathize with. So this could be an existing customer group or a hypothetical user. So in our case, we used a hypothetical user, which was Kathy. So step 3, you're going to write the goal of your user in the middle of the template. For example, in our case, we wrote, Kathy needs an easy to use tool to help with some delicate tasks, for example, pinning documents to a board. This was very, very specific, but we did this with the intention of getting through the whole design thinking process from start to finish in one day. Step 4, you're going to explain to your participants exactly how to fill out each quadrant or each field of your template. So for example, you want to get your participants thinking about what the user is saying, thinking, feeling, and doing regarding their challenge. In the jobs field, we asked our participants to think of the sort of jobs Kathy might be doing. So for example, Kathy might be working with a detective and she might want to pin up documents on a board or pin up pictures on a board to help the detective do their job. So in the pains field, you're going to encourage participants to think about the different types of pains and challenges that your user is experiencing regarding their challenge. In the gains field, you're going to ask your participants to think about what your user stands to gain if a tool is created that is going to help them pin those documents to a board. Next, you're going to give the participants 3 minutes to work together alone to write their assumptions and insights around each field of the template. Next, you're going to give participants 7 minutes to work in their teams to further discuss their insights and look for patterns and connections among the notes that they've taken. This is going to help create a more holistic understanding of the user. All right, let's see how they do it. Okay, so we are now going to, in our groups, work on filling out this empathy map, which you're going to see. Right now, you're going to spend 2 minutes thinking about how to fill this in on your own. You're going to be thinking about this individually, coming up with writing ideas on your post-its. And then after the 3 minutes are up, you're going to discuss it together, and then you'll start putting the post-its up on the empathy map together. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Perfect. So Together alone working like this is weird. It's going to be silent, but that's just for the next 2 minutes, and then after that you'll be able to discuss in your groups. Okay, good. Now you can, in your groups, discuss this, talk about what you actually came up with, and then you can start placing the sticky notes that you've come up with onto the empathy map, okay? And as you talk, there will probably be more thoughts that come out of you. And just try fill it up as much as you can. So I will give you 7 minutes for that, okay?
Category, and whatever we write, I can put it on the sticky notes. One on each. Does is like kind of what stuff she's doing in her life, like what kind of activities. Like we know she likes knitting and cooking, so that's obviously what she's doing.
Okay. I also brought because of that she pins recipes.
It can be recipes, but so I realized my own mom is 67. She's definitely not. I kept thinking of an old grandma, but my own mom is not doing anything like an old grandma. So 67 is not that old, I think. So it's probably not like postcards on the wall or something. Probably not that old. But it could still be. She could.
That's the problem, though, that we need something where she can pick up a pin.
Yeah, exactly. It is still hard, yeah. So she does, recipes on wall?
Yeah, totally.
Recipes on wall.
Which side? Okay. No. I wrote this. I don't know if you believe it's right. I wish I could. I wrote it the first. I wish I could cook in
Yeah, so lots of independence.
How are you doing? You all good? Yeah? Just really get into her headspace and like, what could it be that you are? Do you have an idea of what you could create?
I wrote I've had enough.
Oh wow.
I also wrote I don't want to do this anymore. Yeah, that's similar to yours. I also wrote can someone help? Hopefully reaching out to our new product. Let's see.
I have a few things for the does, just to kind of complete the personality. Is she's either freshly retired, because that's around the age, or she's still working if she's maybe a business owner. So this putting up things on the wall is actually connected to her job somehow. And she has an office at home, and I kept thinking of a lonely grandma, but she could have her whole family in the house as well. So what if she's self-employed, not a retired grandma, but she's working, and work involves actually putting stuff on a wall, maybe not like a detective, like you said, but what about I think pain could be a good one, like what's her pains in her life as a just category to fill out, specifically around the arthritis. I guess one is just general movement, because that hurts.
Movement is painful.
Yeah, like using the hands, right?
Yeah.
Maybe gripping, to grip.
Like maybe her job involves, maybe knitting is part of the job as well. If she doesn't really like it, she actually creates the clothes herself. So that's also like these fine movements are difficult, and just they're taking more time. They are more painful. She gets annoyed. Also picking up those pins is just super
also
annoying.
Maybe holding can be also painful.
Yeah. Well, maybe her big pain is that how am I gonna keep doing the job? I'm a designer.
Or maybe that could be like
it's getting harder.
Feeling
What is? Oh, but we don't have feet. Oh,
No
yeah, there
feels.
is. Okay, so
Like to feel, for example, I draw
Feel
that she feels disabled, that she needs external help.
Feels disabled, feels restricted.
that could help me.
Okay, actually we brought everything.
We've
We can
done,
just
I think it's a lot.
stick them.
You wanna just help me? These are the
Yeah.
doors. Doors. I got some feels.
And again,
This is feel, yeah?
Yeah. I give you the feel as well.
Give
So
me
you
the
don't
feels,
forget.
Tom. Give me the feels.
Giving you the feels.
Okay, so everyone use this time to just stick up your stickies into the empathy map.
As a thing, it's not a feeling.
Anything else? Like,
Well, we
stay home because of
How are you doing?
not socialize.
Not,
Like
Some of these we thought might be overlapping, like feeling and thinking.
I know it's hard to.
Yeah,
Can be
it
similar?
says, we don't really know what it says.
Oh, the jobs. Actually, I'll put this to the jobs.
Yeah.
Maybe she's designing.
Yeah.
Says is just more things that she might be saying, like, this is so frustrating, I can't, whatever. What's her
Maybe
job?
she says. So she says maybe there's something, but she really thinks there's no hope.
Yes, it's all coming together now. Perfect. How are you doing over here?
Really good, yeah.
Yeah?
I mean, there's some good stuff on here.
This is great.
I just made a suggestion to maybe move some things from the things box to the paints box,
Yeah.
like for example, not being able to clean the house.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice. I mean, maybe for this one. Okay, everyone. How was that? Did you feel like you got into her head space? Do you feel like you understood her challenges, and yeah? Okay. So I just want to get a bit of an overview of each one of your empathy maps. It's not really a part of the stage. Normally, when you're running this exercise, you just kind of do it in your teams like this. You get your ideas up and you talk and discuss your empathy map just with your team, like your group. But I really kind of want to know the stories here, because I've heard some really nice conversations. So if somebody wants to nominate a person within your team, just to quickly kind of just tell us a little bit more about the backstory to Kathy, your Kathy. Do you want to start this table? No, Dom is going straight up. Just even like really short.
Okay, so our Kathy, we think our Kathy is some sort of a designer. Maybe designing clothes. That's why she likes knitting. She says that maybe, so she has this pain, right? Gripping, movement, pinning up her vision board elements is very difficult. So what she says is, maybe there's something that could help me take this pressure off, but what she really thinks is that there's no hope. And because of that, she feels frustrated, she feels that she's going to be useless, she feels disabled, she needs something that could allow her to still work and make money. We think she's a self-employed, high-end clothes designer, maybe
Cool.
wedding clothes, and she interact with others. I don't remember how. Anyway, she definitely wants to interact with others.
Yeah.
That would be a game somehow of this thing. What else does she do? She might want to put recipes on the wall, pictures of grandkids, as
Yeah,
in addition to the vision board,
absolutely.
and then shopping lists and Wi-Fi stuff.
Yeah, no, this is great.
Wi-Fi passwords.
Nice.
She's still writing the Wi-Fi
Yeah,
password down.
This is really great.
That's what we think of Kathy. So
Nice.
far.
I really love how you've come up with the story. This is really good. I wouldn't have thought of
Definitely
that.
saying one thing and thinking
Yeah.
another.
Really like that.
Hopeless. Yeah.
Hope, no hope, like absolutely no hope. Thank you, Dom. Thanks for introducing your Kathy. Kathy number one. Anybody like to go through their Kathy?
Yes, so our Kathy, her hobby is sewing and knitting, and we told her she was an assistant. She says that no medication is a remedy. She's basically wanting to quit and then just saying that she's had enough. But she's also opening up a little that can someone help. So we like that about our Kathy. She also thinks similar to your Kathy, Dom, that this is bullshit, that I want to quit, and then no stress. Yeah, she doesn't want to stress over little things anymore, and that is the pain that we didn't write down, but yeah,
No, this is perfect.
her hand is just really hurt. She definitely feels frustrated about it. She also thinks, why me? Why does it happen to me? And another big thing for our Cathy was that it's pushing her down. She's a very cheerful, very wicked lady, but since her pain is around, her mood just been going down, and it's also not having a social life and everything else. What she does, we were thinking more about what this pain does to her, so it slows our wicked Cathy down. She always has to stop for a while. She's afraid of losing her job as well and stopping her hobbies. And she just simply can't perform 100%, which is not how Cathy used to live her life.
Nice.
And she would like to gain that. She wants to save time and wants to save time.
Yeah.
Yeah, she wants to save time. Yeah, get
That's
back
great.
to
Thank you. I like your Cathy. Maybe we should have named them different names, but I actually like Cathy 1, Cathy 2. Does anybody from this table want to introduce your Cathy?
Should I go?
Uh,
So, in terms of job, we thought that Cathy's 67, so she's probably retired by now, hopefully. And we focus a bit more on her personal life. So we felt like she now says that she needs assistance doing the small stuff and she wishes she could be independent again. So there's definitely a feeling of loss of independence. She feels a bit ashamed of that, frustrated. She's even envious of other people that can still do all these things. And she obviously has some physical pain. She really thinks that she cannot relax as much because she's a bit limited in her hobbies now. She cannot really host people anymore, which was something that she really got pleasure from, and she's very limited in social life because of that, and is also less capable at jobs, of course. And she now avoids doing things that she loves, like knitting, and because she does stuff that actually require nimble and precise movement, so like also her chores are limited as well. So this brings a lot of pain in her hands, and of course, and she has a house that is not as nice as before, so her personal life, she doesn't really relax as much, she doesn't feel as comfortable in her own space. So it's not just affecting when she's trying to do stuff, but also like when she's having a normal time watching TV, she doesn't feel as good at home. And there's experiences some pain and difficulty with the small everyday tasks. So it's kind of a bit of repetitive here, but the line is just, it's affecting her when she's doing things, but also in her social life and when she's trying to relax as well. She doesn't feel as good.
Okay. Thank you for that. But that was really great. Wow, you actually got so much out of what a 7-minute activity. So well done. I think the point of that whole exercise is to really get into her, like just really understand her. And try to mirror how she's feeling about things, so you can really then think about the solution. Okay, like this is really impacting this woman. How can we help? And obviously, you're thinking it's not only just this woman. There are other people out there who are in this kind of age demographic who are experiencing this exact same problem. So with you creating this product to help Cathy, you're going to help probably millions and millions of other people as well with the same tool. So now that you kind of know Cathy, you know you're kind of after getting real good insights into what her pains are, what her problem is, we are going to move into the next stage of the design thinking process. And this is the define stage. So there, the whole time, the last whatever amount of time that was, we were in that kind of flare zone. We were generating multiple ideas. We were really gathering loads of information. So now we're going to be converging our thinking, and we're going to be focusing our thoughts and trying to figure out one well-defined solution to help Cathy. Okay, so defining the problem using a unique, concise reframing of the problem that is grounded in the user's needs and insights. So all of the stuff that you've already gathered, you're going to use this in the next phase. So why are we doing this? Because we want to expose new opportunities by looking at things differently. We want to guide innovation efforts, and we want to make sure we've identified something worth working on. And I think from listening to your stories, this problem is worth solving. We need to come up with something. So the next two exercises, I'm not going to really get you too involved in it just because we've already kind of defined what we want to make for Cathy. We want to make a little tool that she can pick up little pins, and we know what we're making for her. But normally, if you're running this workshop, this step, you're coming up with a point of view statement. Okay, so the point of view statements is just you drawing insights from the empathy map about what the user needs. And as I say, for the purpose of this workshop, I want to give you the point of view statement. So I've come up with this. The user needs an easy to use tool to help with some delicate tasks. We know this. In particular, the user is looking for something that will help her pick up pins, which she can then use to pin documents onto a board. That's our point of view statement. But let's say if you were doing it in a different workshop, the point of view statement would be completely different depending on your user. But it's easy to come up with this after you go through the interview stage and after you go through the empathy map. You will come up with a well-defined point of view statement. So then after that, we go into another exercise that is really popular in most workshops. We always use this. It's called the How Might We exercise. And this is really just transforming a problem, or in this case, the point of view statement, into a solvable question. So if you look at the point of view thing, it's like user needs an easy to use it. It's not really like framed in a way that you can solve it. So instead of it just being like user needs this, we're going to say, how might we create a tool that will help Kathy complete delicate tasks like this in a pain-free way? So you're just kind of reframing the sentence so that it's easier to come up with solutions to it. Don't worry too much about this right now for this particular workshop, but that's just a really nice exercise to reframe questions or reframe problems into a solvable question. So if you're in this real or a workshop doing it yourselves and everything, and you have loads of different users and you're using this How Might We exercise, after that, you're going to have generated loads of How Might We's. And then you kind of do a round of voting on these How Might We's, and then you would come out with one well-defined one. So it might not make sense now, but is there anything else that you could say for that to make it more clear?
So just for the purpose of this this kind of like training, we just prescribe the challenge that we're working on. Usually in this kind of like process, of course, everything would be way more open. So you wouldn't start with understanding that this person has this specific problem. You would actually derive the challenge that you want to solve from actually like figuring out what that person is like first. And another thing to also add, that if you're doing this in real life, you wouldn't necessarily just kind of like try to come up with these things randomly or based on what you assume this person is. I mean, you might be doing interviews, you might be actually meeting people. So this is something that you can do quite lightweight in the same way that we have done it, by just basically assuming a lot of stuff. But you can also go way, way, way deeper. And it's really important just to repeat that you're starting this process not already knowing what the challenge or the problem is that you want to solve. The only reason why we're doing it differently today is because we want to help you get through all stages of the process. And the easiest way for us to do that is by basically assuming that, okay, we have identified this thing here as the thing that we want to solve for. And in a real process, like I said, it could be a lot broader. So you might be finding out things that you didn't assume. And this is actually like the real advantage of using something like design thinking at work or in real life scenarios. Because very often businesses start a project just assuming that, okay, we want to build a better dishwasher or something like that. And that's kind of like these kind of like things define what people actually spend a lot of time on, but you don't necessarily get innovative ideas out of that. So this is kind of like the opposite, where you're just really exploring and discovering challenges worth solving. And so it is really, really broad. And just for today, to help you get through the entirety of the process, which could be like a week-long, maybe even longer process, and we have to condense it down to just a few hours. We are taking that shortcut by just highlighting this challenge to work on, and usually there would be a lot more kind of like openness to what challenge you would normally solve. So that's the only thing I wanted to call out. In case you're wondering, like, why would we even do something like How Might We? It seems like the challenge is quite clear. Of course, in real life, you wouldn't know what the challenge is. And the purpose also of reframing that challenge into a question that's phrased, how might we, is to get everyone in the frame of mind that this is actually a question that has potential answers. So it's not just a challenge, like this person is dealing with arthritis in her hands, like there's nothing we can do. It's really to get you into a positive frame of mind, like, okay, it is a challenge. We don't know how to solve it yet, but there is probably like an endless amount of solutions to this. So this is what the how might we really is about, turning the challenge into a question. And that's how you would then start to think about solutions. And I think that would also be the next part of today, right?
Yeah, literally. No, that was a perfect explanation. Thank you so much, Tim. So all that made sense. And now I'm going to bring you into the really, really fun stage. We are going to be generating multiple possible solutions to our problem. And why are we going to do this is to generate maximum innovation potential in a short amount of time. And that's the main point about it. It's a really short amount of time, and you're going to be really shocked at the amount of ideas you're going to come up with this. You're going to incorporate different perspectives because you're going to be working together, and you're going to be building excitement around the possibility of creating something that's going to actually help somebody. So I want to do something really quick with you. If you have actually just your post-it notes, the square ones, I'm just going to ask you to draw a few things. First thing is a door. A door that you walk through. Okay, the next thing, you can just pull that sticky off and put it next to you. Next thing is a baby. Okay, time's up. Next thing is a house. A house. Okay, time's up. Right, the reason I'm just doing this like quick sketching thing again is to once again get it into your head that you can visualize your ideas, you can communicate your ideas. I think if everyone looks at their neighbor's drawings, you're going to be able to see that there's a door, a baby, and a house on each post-it. It does have sketching, and a sketching exercise has nothing got to do with your ability to draw. You are able to communicate your ideas. Actually, hands up who put when they drew the baby, the little piece of hair on the top. Hey! Because everyone has these preconceived ideas about what these things look like, which is very cool. It's a happy baby. What? Psychotic looking. Okay, all right, so what we're going to do, the reason I got you to do a sketching exercise is because we are now going into our ideate phase where you're going to be sketching some of your ideas. We're going to take part in an activity, an exercise called Crazy Eights. What time is it actually? Yeah, we're actually fine with time. Crazy Eights is a really, really nice sketching ideation exercise. You can do it with writing ideas, but sketching ideas with this is really good. You're going to sketch solutions to the challenge you've already decided on. We know our challenge. We need to make our little tool to pick up our pins. You're going to be generating a lot of ideas quickly. 8 crazy ideas in 8 minutes. Sounds wild, sounds daunting, but it's really fun, I promise. So sometimes to be truly creative, our brains actually need this structure and rules. And by restricting space and time, and by letting everyone know anything is that anything goes, this tactic forces ideas out, and it forces them out in a really fast way. And it's far less painful than it sounds. It sounds kind of manic, but it isn't. So first thing I want you to do, all right, is everyone has an A4 page on their table. They should. We are going to, if everyone has it, you can hold it. You already have it sorted out. You're just going to fold it in half first. Some people already know how to make the 8 frames. After you fold it in half, you just fold it again. And then you fold it one more time. And once you open that back up, you should have 8 even frames. Yeah, isn't that mind-blowing? So that's it. It should come out like this. So you have 8 frames. So what you're going to do is I'm going to set a timer for 1 minute at the very beginning. So you have 1 minute to draw, come up with an idea for the tool that you're going to design for Kathy. Okay? So it has to be an easy to use tool. Remember all of the things that she's struggling with. Just really try to get into the mind frame of mind. Yeah, that's the one. Frame of mind of Kathy, of like what kind of tool would be really good for her if her hands are like really, really sore. And you're just going to come up with 8 different sketches. It doesn't have to be a different product the whole time. It could be just like the same product but in different ways with little tweaks. Really don't try to think about this too much. This is all about quality, not quantity. Did I say that? Quantity, not quality. This is all about quantity, not quality. So really, really doesn't matter what it looks like. Completely backwards. Edit that out, will you? So yeah, I'm going to start the timer. You're going to start away. Does everyone know what they need to do?
A question.
Yes.
Is it to focus on the specific use case of pin stuff to a board or
Yes.
to all the problems of Katie's?
No, this is specifically for the act of picking up a pin to pin stuff to a board.
I've seen different pins in my life.
I love this.
Can we draw a pin on that board?
Will I show you a pin?
Yeah, the pins look
The pins are like the small, like, yeah.
like this.
There. Ooh, designer.
Here, I wasn't alone. I wasn't alone.
Art school to draw.
There we go. This is a pin. Woohoo! I love that.
So just imagine that Kathy has these pins.
This big.
That big, yeah. They're there. That's the physical pin. So you're drawing something so that she can literally pick that up at the very bottom. So it has like.
Remember that a person with arthritis has a lot of difficulties, like actually grabbing stuff, like having a good grip on stuff. Yeah, on small things, especially of course, but like it's very hard for them to like close and have a tight grip on things.
Sorry, just maybe one more thing before we get started. If you don't have any idea what to draw right now, that's completely normal. I would still encourage you, even if you have no clue what to draw, just get the pen moving, draw anything, like even if it's just a line. It will be way easier once you start drawing stuff to think about things. So rather than being kind of like paralyzed in front of your paper, trying to think about I need to think about the tool, don't do that. Just draw anything. It's fine if out of your 8 panels, some don't actually show any final idea. If the timer, when Rebecca tells you to move on to the next panel, don't dwell on it. Just move on and then kind of like start again, and either draw something completely different or build on the idea that you had earlier. But yeah, just even if you have no clue what to draw right now, just draw anything.
Yeah, think about what already exists, you know? Think about the type of things that might already exist that you can just kind of build upon and make better and tweak. Okay, so 1 minute for your first one, go. Remember all the things this tool needs to be. It needs to be able to pick the thing up, but also push it into a board. So it needs to have like a sturdiness to it. Just think about all those elements. Okay, we are now about to move on to the next frame. Go. Next drawing. Time is up. You can go on to the next frame and start your next drawing. Dom has gone ahead and he's drawn 6 already. Ideas are flowing. Just 10 seconds. Start wrapping up that one. And we're going to go on to the next one. Don't worry if you can't think of it one, just even draw the one that you did before and just improve upon it and add things to it. Okay, we're going to go on to the next one. Five seconds. Okay, on to the next one. Okay, on to the next one. This is the last one. Give it your all. Okay, 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, well done. Well done, everyone. How did that feel for you? Pressurized. Pressurized, yeah? Fun? Okay, you liked it? Yeah?
Very liberating.
Nice. Did you feel like after, at the first few, you felt like, did you get into a flow or did it feel? Yeah? Good, nice. Okay, so the next thing that you're going to do right now is that each person should pick one design that you've made, one sketch, the one that you think meets the challenge the best, you think it's actually going to work. I think this is the product that we should go with. Pick one of your favorite sketches and present it to the people that are at your table. Okay, I'm going to set a 40-second timer and then after that I'll give you 3 minutes, okay? Okay, all right, I'll put 3 minutes on the clock and you can start taking turns presenting your idea to your group members. All right, go ahead. Pardon? Oh, there was a question.
3 minutes for everyone, not for each.
3 minutes in total, yes. Yeah, so a minute each.
Ideas, but first, just the one that I...
Right.
Okay, so this is the magnet glove.
Okay.
This is a magnetic glove, but for this you need slightly heavier magnetic pins as well. So it would come with new pins as well, slightly heavier, so because you pick it up with a... So the glove is capable of just identifying one of these new steel pins and then just, you know, well, you can't see the design, but imagine that it's a glove like this. So you can think of a glove, and then it just like magnetically attaches to a pin, and because it's steel, because it's heavier, the pin, it's just very easy to push it in the wall.
Sure.
And then next pin, next push.
Great.
That is the magnet glove.
The magnet glove. Oh my god, fantastic.
All right, you want to go ahead?
Yeah.
I have an idea that could be good. So I present you the pin magnet. So this is basically a magnet that has a soft sponge underneath. So the metallic part of the pin goes, it's attracted, and then it gets on the sponge, right? Because if it's all pin, all metal, it will just get glued, right? So the pin basically just gets stuck like
Upside
this. Exactly.
Let's go with the second favorite one. It's close to Henny's. Exactly. It's close to Henny's. I call it the slapper. Basically, instead of the hands going in and then connecting as in yours, it would be just something that it slides in. So almost like a band behind it, and then it would be magnetic the pins as well, and then she could just go over there and then do a slap to the table.
Okay, what we're doing now is just picking the idea that you told your team members that you really liked and think you want to build that product, and you're just getting a new page and redrawing it again, resketching it, and just putting a bit more effort and thought into it. If any feedback came up within the chat or discussion a while ago, you can add those ideas to it. Or if like Nicola drew something on hers that you were like, oh my god, that would be really cool on mine, you can kind of steal and borrow ideas as well, just to refine your sketch. I'll give you actually 3 minutes for this. 3 minutes, and you can start there now. Everyone have a fresh page? Do you want a fresh? Yeah, perfect. If anyone's unclear on what we're meant to be doing, let me know.
Use the full page, right?
Yeah, full page. Yeah. And you don't even need to half it up or anything. You can just use the full page. Yeah. Okay. You need to leave the workshop. Also, if things don't make sense in your drawing, you could just add like little text bubbles to explain it. I know if I was doing it, mine would need a lot of text explanations. Okay, 20 seconds left. Okay, how are you doing? Do you feel like you need a bit more time? Like 10, 20 seconds, no? Yeah? I'll just leave it another few seconds just for this table here. They're in their creativity mode. Let's say another 20 seconds. Okay, we'll stop there. Okay, so now you all have in your group 3 really good ideas, potential products that you're going to build. And now normally what happens is that you place the 3 sketches up on the board here. And you can go through a round of voting on which one you want to actually build. But because there's only 3 people in a group, that can just get a bit like, normally it's better if there's more people in a group to do a round of voting on, so it's not that uneven. So what we're going to do instead with you guys is just chat amongst yourselves and figure out which one you want to build. There could be something that like, okay, I like this about yours, and maybe we can add that to the prototype as well. Just having a chat about what we could potentially build together. So I'll give you maybe 3 minutes to just chat amongst yourselves about like what we could potentially build after the break. Yeah, just go for it. Don't think too much about it and go.
The magnet glove, as I said, new steel pins. They have a hex shape to prevent rolling off the table.
Oh, nice.
The glove fits all sizes. It also moisturizes the hand. That's just a weird side benefit. And it knows when to release. So first of all, the index finger part is magnetic. So you just have to do this and then push it in. It can generate 200 Newton joule, whatever that is, but it can generate it. I don't even know if that's not even a thing.
Oh my god, we are just inventing new physics.
You can press it in, and then you just extend the hand, and it knows.
That's a really nice, like little inbuilt mechanism.
Yeah,
that's quite
so because that's how you really do
So
it.
it's like magnetic functions, and then you kind of place it on the board,
Yeah,
and then you let go.
release. Yeah, that's it.
I like that.
So
I've still just went with, you know, fucking fuck the pins. let's just get
that's the name of the board.
Yeah, fuck the pins. And then just, you know, rather than pick up pins, the pins are already on the board. And you just have to put your piece of paper on the board wherever you want.
So how would
How
it
do you
stick?
put the pin?
It just goes through the paper like it would normally with a pin.
But you still wouldn't you need to take a pin out and put it?
No, the pin is already on the board. So you just go to the paper.
But you
Oh, so
have to
it's
grab the
sticking
pin.
out.
Sticking out, yeah.
No.
Okay.
It's literally a pin board.
Okay,
A
but it's
board of
not.
pins.
It couldn't hurt you if it falls on you or something. Because now the pin is looking out.
Yeah. Those outward looking pins. Yeah. And then you just go up and you put them in. I mean, of course, it could fall on you.
Yeah.
But just like to grab a piece of paper.
Yeah.
This is just then in the same movement as picking something.
Yeah, maybe, but like
I mean,
if you have like
not
big,
that.
if you could, you know, you've got your board and then you pick up your paper like this, and then you just like.
Yeah. I mean, that's the kind of thing that a post-it solves, I guess.
That's true. That's absolutely true. I'm inventing post-its, but with pens.
Without.
That was the best idea.
This was my best idea. Yeah. What I done was just take something and call it my own. That's what I done.
You have a perfect prototype. No, but okay, we need to choose one.
Let's choose one. I don't know. Are we thinking I'm thinking the futuristic anesthesia ibuprofen glove hand might be a little out with the technology that we know of today. I'm thinking mine's is probably a little bit too on the other spectrum. I'm thinking this. I'm maybe going for a magnet glove.
My problem with the glove is that I think why I like yours is that actually really removes the problem, which is the pins itself.
Yeah.
The problem is not really picking up the pin, but the existence of the pin itself. That's why I like yours.
Basically, someone just wants to have their ideas on a board.
That's the aim, right? The aim is not really to pick the pin, but to put the idea forward. But I know.
Okay, guys, we have another 20 seconds to choose. Like to really choose and figure. Well, you don't really need to just be like it's this one and abandon the rest, but just come up with some idea that you're going to build, so that after the break you're ready to start building the thing, the product. Okay, everyone, we are taking a 15-minute break right now. Obviously, you can continue the discussions about what you're going to do after the break, because after the break, we are going to go into building mode. You're going to make your whole tool, which is going to be cool. So for the break, we have coffee. I can make us coffee and everything, tea, water, biscuits, everything, and snacks. And just move around. You can go out to the balconies and stuff, do whatever. We'll come back here at 15:45, okay? And we'll get straight back into it. Okay, huh? All right, okay, you're free. Well done for the first half. Thanks, Ellie, thanks. Welcome back, everyone. Did you have an okay break?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, good. Right, so this is the fun part. As I said, we're going to be building, we're going to be kind of feeling like we're going back to school and rummaging that table of materials over there. I tried to make it look as exciting as possible. So prototyping, we're just going to talk about it a small bit, and I'd love your input on this in a minute as well, just to go through a tiny bit of information. So you're just turning your concept into something concrete, tangible, and something you can actually test. So you don't need to be worrying about whether this is actually going to work or is this the finished product? You're just trying to come up with something. You just want something tangible. You're doing this to gain empathy, to explore, to test, to inspire, and to test your hypothesis to get you closer to your final solution. So I think the two things that you need to learn about or take away from the whole prototyping phase is that fail early and fail often.
So what usually happens, or what very frequently happens, is that a company or a business spends a lot of time and money and effort on building a product and then brings it to market, and when they get the feedback that this is actually not what customers or the market wants, it's way too late. So this is a problem, of course, and this is why it's very useful to think about product development in terms of building a prototype first. The prototype is really something that represents your ideas in a relatively cheap and easy way. So maybe it looks pretty ugly, maybe it's still not perfect, and maybe it's also not showing the entirety of the finished product, only the main features, the main value to customers. Because when you fail here, it's actually not that bad, because you can still easily change, the prototype, the concepts. You can just create a new iteration. When you fail here, you have already wasted a lot of resources and spend a lot of time on something that doesn't work. And in the meantime, other companies might have already launched 2 more successful products. So this is why prototyping is so important, and it's also something that we do in every project we do. So
Would you be able to explain as well, like to people, just there's different types of prototypes you can make. You can build an actual product, but there's other ways to do it too. You can.
Yeah. So I mean, a lot of the prototypes that we build on projects are actually digital prototypes, so they're actually quite easy to do, easy to make, and they, even though they are non-functional in many ways, they look and feel like the real thing. But of course, when you're building something that's like a physical product, like for example this pushpin thing, it's a bit more difficult to make it, to kind of like show this to testers and make them really think like, okay, this is what I can imagine that this is like a finished product. I can see how that would look like when I buy it in a store. But that doesn't mean that you cannot prototype that in a way that's more appealing. So for example, a prototype could also be an ad. Like you can make the layout for a newspaper ad or a sales deck or anything that just kind of like represents like the vision of the product, even to just check like, is this something that people would be interested in? Because you can quite easily, like even if you can't actually build the physical thing, you can mock up something you would use to sell the physical thing, show it to people from the target group, and then get feedback that way. And that's so we're creating these prototypes for fairly complex products in only 1 to 2 days. But yeah, you don't have to spend much more time on a prototype. So you want to be as fast as possible, spend as little time on actually, I don't know, like coding something or manufacturing something. These things will be important later on when you are confident that it's actually worth putting like all that effort into the product. But you should avoid doing that at that early stage, because you still don't know if this is going to be a success or if people will actually rip it apart. I have seen this so many times, and it's still something that happens in almost every project we're doing with companies. You're showing the concept to people from the target group that are intended to be your customers later on, and at the beginning you're really, really confident that this is a great idea because you have kind of like hyped yourself up. You have aligned on a direction, you have, you know, narrowed down from a lot of really cool ideas, and then you show it to customers and they're like, yeah, actually, I don't get it. I don't like it. I don't know what the point is. And that can feel really kind of like deflating at first. And this is also why it's so important to have this creative confidence that it's actually not a big deal. We can still change things, and we don't have to kind of like dwell on things and get stuck on, you know, like making it work when it clearly doesn't work. We'll just iterate on it, fix what doesn't work, take out what people don't like, and maybe introduce other features that people like more, or you know, change the focus of the product as well. So don't do this here where you spend a lot of time to get here and then it's too late. You've already wasted your budget. Start small, really, really small, and get feedback as early as possible. Yeah. So exactly. That's also, I think, the point of what we will do next.
Absolutely, yeah, exactly. Thank you so much, Tim. That's a really good explanation, because like there are some organizations, companies who they don't have this design thinking mindset. They go all in on a product, and even if they know that it's not going to work and they're putting all this money and time and effort into it, they don't have the confidence or like the courage to kind of go, look, this actually is shit. Let's like scrap it and do something new. And they could spend nearly 2 years. I know a lot of companies that are spending like 2 to 3 years on an app and like constantly adding new things and trying to improve it, but it just doesn't work. So yeah, I think this is a really important phase for us right now. And we are going to get started. We're going to start building our tool. So we're going to give you 20 minutes. Remember every single thing that you talked about, like the 3 sketches that you have. Try to incorporate everything, like the good ideas from each person's prototype or sketch, and build the tool around that. You can use all the materials down here. There's like paper, there's loads of different things. There's chopsticks. There's so much stuff down there that you can just go wild with your imagination. So you can just get up, go down, bring some materials to your table, build the prototype on your table. And yeah, I'll give you 20 minutes for that, and then I'll start telling you the next step. You're going to be testing it within your group before you start testing it with other people, with the real users. It's okay, 20 minutes. You can begin. I'm going to put on some music. If you have any questions, just let me know.
Here we put something.
We can put this.
I'm going to make the band so tight that you lose blood circulation again.
I think that will stay.
That's good stuff.
Terminator. You see the second part? Where they take off
right.
his skin?
Yeah.
Okay.
So just, yeah.
Wait.
Oh, that's smooth. That's smooth. Yeah, we realised that as well, that we don't actually need the pipe cleaners. All we need is a finger with a bit of blue tack. But
It works though.
I like it. Table. I guess the idea of it is to mainstream.
How are you all doing? Do you have your prototype ready or do you need a bit more time? How are you doing? Yours is ready? You're ready over here? How's this table? Yeah? It works? You're ready? All right, so from now, I just want you to present to all of us what your product and your prototype is. You don't need to show us how to use it yet because we're going to be testing them in a second, but I just want you to just tell us about them because they look really, really great. Maybe we can start with this table here and you can introduce your product and tell us about it. Tell us a little bit about it.
Okay. This is the
Show us as well how it fits on the hand and stuff.
This is for.
yeah, that's for reference. Yeah, thank you. Welcome to the one size fits all thumbnail. This is oversimplistic, but ultimately very beautiful. And our plan was that we wanted to kind of have like a whole glove that was magnetic. Yeah, you could just pick up your pin and it would go straight here, and then you would release it, alleviating any sort of kind of grippage. So what you have here is what we need 200 million newtons.
Yes.
For this to work.
Yeah.
This is our unyet determined measurement of magnetizedness of the future. But ultimately, how it works is you place it on your fingertip, as thus, and you have your pickup station here. You pick up your pin, and then
Oops.
then we go towards our pin board, and it goes. Voila.
Well.
Easy. To get your pin back out, very easy. You just take it out like this
That works.
and put it back into your station.
Pin station.
That's the one.
Nice.
One size fits all.
Thumbnail.
Glove, glittery thing.
Well
That's
done. That's amazing.
it. Right.
Oh, so if you could we'd love to ask a few questions. Also, this is just like an open discussion about the product, and maybe some of you might also have questions that you want to ask the team. The pickup station.
Yeah.
Is that part of the product?
Yes.
Okay, so you'll have like a pin pickup station thing, like where it's like, how does that work?
Yeah. It comes with, when you buy the product, it comes
Okay.
with 200 preloaded pins
How high is this thing?
into this
Okay.
like, little pickup
Not
station.
too much.
You pick up one,
Yeah.
and then
Another
a new
one.
one automatically appears.
Nice.
We agreed on that.
But they are reusable. So
They're
it's
reusable.
You
recyclable,
can
yeah.
obviously you can reload from the bottom up. So every time you pick one, a new one appears. You can use it.
What about her hands though?
Yeah, did you notice that you're using the other hand for the loading station?
What happens? Well, it's a very elaborate loading system. You kind of you take it out, and then you kind of drop it into the loading system.
Okay. And it does it itself.
Gets reloaded into the pickup station.
I like it. I like it that there's something there. It's
Yeah.
just to avoid her picking up the thing again with her
Exactly. She
sore
doesn't
hands.
actually ever have to come in contact with a pin.
Remember,
I love that.
It's magnetic.
Pin.
The
Magnetic.
glove is magnetic.
Oh, so
That's what
Yeah.
why it's
So
sticky.
there's-
That's
So
how
it
we
can
want it.
Yeah.
okay, nice.
There's a little release
Magnet.
button. Yeah. There's a little release button. As soon as you stretch your hand,
Yeah.
the magnet releases into the reloading station, and then automatically everything.
So she never has to touch the pin.
never has to touch
What's the price?
the price. For you,
We'll
it's a
figure that
special
out.
deal.
Good.
2 for 1.
Remember, the glove. This
Double
is just
pins.
a prototype.
Yeah.
Because that's the one thing that
Yeah.
counts.
So you even can use it 5 fingers.
No. I mean, to be decided later. I think.
Yeah.
I
See,
think
this
the
is
glove is
part.
free, but the loading station is probably like 500 per.
Yeah, the loading station is.
We're gonna take the Apple approach where you have to buy a loading station.
Yeah.
Really
And with
expensive.
every upgrade of the finger puppet comes a new loading station. So, you know.
Nice. Okay, well, that's really, really cool. Well done, guys. That's so good. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. This table here, does somebody want to present? Okay.
Welcome.
Hey, Katie's of the world. I'm here today to introduce you to the pin gun. So basically, it's a gun that you can use to pin, not for other purposes less legal, like like killing your neighbor. Yeah, it's very simple, as you can see. Something that is basically a very graspable shape, size of your hands. That has the ammunition inside. You can replace. Oops. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and basically there's a mechanism inside that with minimal effort, you just like press a little bit, and it triggers the gun to shoot.
Oh, nice.
So we're just prototyping here, so there's like one ready to shoot, right? So we just stick it here. Normally it's not so sticky. Yes. And if you want to take it again, you just place it here, and the same way as you shoot, as you're pressing, it's like there's a little mechanism that's like locks it. So put it back, you lock, and you take it out.
Nice.
That's it.
Nice.
So you can just stick and pull. In case they drop on the floor, there's this little shovel that, with minimal effort, also you barely
Yeah.
fold your fingers.
You can
just
do
press.
Cute.
Okay. And then it vibrates. And then as you're vibrating, they are like going inside these little holes here.
Uh-huh.
So you can just pick it up again, and so you can recharge your gun very easily.
Nice. That's really cool.
Yeah, that's how it works.
That's great. Well done. Does anybody have any clarifying questions that they'd like to ask this team about the product?
Yes, how does it stays in your hand? It's like this, you still need to grip it.
Yeah, so there's kind of
Yeah, a
strap.
band?
Oh, strap.
But you know, it's like the size can be adjusted to like the real hand size. This is perfect to my hand, but maybe Katie has a different hand.
What kind of material would the thing be at the bottom? What do you think it should be?
Well, it needs to be
Rather
a
than
little
glass.
flexible, some kind
Okay.
of rubber or something, so
Yeah.
you like a little squeeze,
Mm.
it triggers the mechanism.
Okay,
So-
cool.
Yeah.
Some type of lickable material.
Lickable, yeah.
It's gonna be like
It has to be lickable. Does anybody have any other questions for this team? No? Well done, it's really cool. I like the two-partness of it. Nice. Okay, we're over here.
Would you like to go?
Who would like to introduce their product?
And like it's our product. Yeah. Your so hi folks, let me introduce you the bowl. It works like there's a strap here. You just put your hands here, so you don't need to do anything at all. We already have, it's already loaded in with the pins. So you just put it like this. It goes in, and yeah, let me show you. Here's the wall. You just like push it in.
Yay!
Ooh, and it stays in. We
Amazing.
didn't really design it for actually remove the pin.
That's okay.
Because
That's okay. Yeah.
we don't want to remove the pin. But yeah, it's automatic. So once you put it in, another pin is going to appear here.
That's really great. Well done, everyone. Does anybody have a question or is anything unclear there?
What was the why from the extraction point? Why did you not want to further develop the idea to extract the pin?
We didn't say that we don't want to further develop, it's just the stage.
It's just
where
this
we
the
are at the
stage. I
moment.
see.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And how do you pick them up if they're on the floor?
Without a shovel, how do you do that?
Yeah. Maybe we can collaborate. Yeah.
Yes.
So we can collaborate. You can design us for the shovel or what is it called? I don't know, but yeah.
We're still in the discovery for the day.
Well done. I really, really like them. Well,
And
done,
it never
all of
ends
you,
on the
they're
floor,
amazing.
so it always sticks to the wall. You know, you don't need a shovel.
Okay, so that was really great. Thank you so much for doing that. I think some of the products, like seriously, they could be the next thing, you know? So you did the prototyping stage. This is the final stage of the design thinking process. And this is the test phase. What you were doing there, you were testing the product, but in your own groups. So this is testing, but to the actual user, to Kathy, potential Kathy. So why are you going to be testing? You're testing it with users using the prototypes. You're just going to be making sure that they work and to understand how users understand and use the concept. It's a way of continuing to gain empathy for your users and evaluate your solution. And even as he presented them, there's probably things that you kind of went, oh, actually, I didn't think of that, or, things that you can improve upon. And that's why the design thinking process isn't linear, as we say. It's like you prototype, you test, you figure out that there's actually things that we can improve upon, and then you go back to the kind of prototyping phase again, or even the ideate phase, and start thinking, okay, how can we improve upon this? But we're not going to go through the whole loop today. We're just going to go through the 5 stages. So we're going to be testing now what you built. So other people are going to test it. It's fine that you've built it, you know how it works, you know how, to hold it so that the thing doesn't fall. So this is the real test, where you're going to get another person to test your prototype. So one person from a different group must now test your product. And to make it harder, look what we're introducing.
What is this now?
These are arthritic hands. So yeah, we of course, luckily we don't have arthritis yet, but we are going to simulate a person having arthritis being kind of like impacted in their hand mobility. So there are studies that this is actually like a very good representation of what having arthritis really is, wearing oven mittens. So it is a lo-fi test, but I think if you can actually use your product with these oven mittens, then I have no doubt that it would work with arthritic hands as well. So yeah.
I'll give you 3 minutes to make a few adjustments to see, can you do it? So I'll set the timer for 3 minutes. See, is there a way that you can make this fit on the oven glove?
That looks good.
nice.
That looks solid.
This is here.
Okay, hang on. How are we doing? Have you made your adjustments?
Station is going to be.
I think they could do it. The station
Yeah.
That's the line, right?
That's the main, yeah. But the loading station, we're going to drop it in.
Okay, guys, are we ready?
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to use this as our station. You're going to nominate a person in your group to test another person's product. And the person should be able to figure it out, like as in, here I am, putting my hand, picking up the thing, pinning it in, and then it being able to remove without having to use your other hand. Okay? So this table, who would like to test this product? You? Yeah. So you're going to test it?
I'll give
Oh
you
wait,
the
that's
station.
my hand, and then I have to put this on, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
That's, you should, yeah, that's.
That.
So it's attached to my body, basically.
No, but okay, so our product is a glove itself anyway, and this is just simulating what we only felt the need to prototype one part because that's the thing we use.
Okay. So this
And
is
obviously this glove has the
station.
limitations.
Yeah, pickup station.
That was so invested in it.
Need to explain.
That's it, yep.
It's up. Ooh. Is that?
So far, so good.
A little bit.
Oh,
Just, you know,
200 kilojoules
Need to,
Newton.
yeah.
yeah, you don't, you, there's the,
Wiggle it a little bit.
Yes, there we go.
Space.
Well done.
Extraction mode.
We're moving.
Hey. And then you can just, there's like a funnel thing. That's.
Yes.
Nice.
Wow. Okay.
Thanks for trying your best.
After testing it, how did it feel? Do you think it's comfortable? How are your hands? How did it feel, Kathy? You're Kathy now.
I think.
Well, we need to work on that.
It could be refined a little bit.
Okay, what refinements do you think? Also for this part, when somebody's giving you or feedback on your product, a good thing to be doing is taking notes on little post-its year group just so that you can use this feedback for iteration later. Okay, so how would you refine it? Or
It felt a little bit too big and a bit hard to find exactly where I wanted to. And because of the size of the glove, I couldn't really see where the pin was exactly. And I wanted to pin, I don't know, the corner of the photo. And if I miss it, then I have to remove it again and then try again.
that's a good point.
So maybe it could be a little bit smaller.
Or like more, to the size of your actual skin. And I think that's what you intended it to look like, as in a bit thinner and more just like as if it's your finger. But I think it's a good point. Maybe somebody might not be like able to.
It's supposed to be a glove, so testing it with a glove on is making it a little bit difficult.
Yeah. I love that you have an answer for everything. You're like, we're like, just get it, like.
No, you forget. I like your idea about the visibility. So it would be transparent as well. So
What's a material?
say again.
What's a material?
Transparent material.
Yeah, of course.
Space fiber.
Space fiber.
Cycle.
As my colleagues tell me, space fiber.
Good.
And also another thing that I noticed as well with it, it's magnetic. So is there like a point on the end of it where the pin always goes to? Or is it like you put your thing down and it could like stick here sideways? Always at the end there's a, okay. Yeah, okay, so it always stays on, so visibility is actually, it might not be a problem.
It should slide into that slot, yes.
Yeah, but I know the point that you're making though, because when you're trying to get something in like that, it's good to have two fingers to guide it. If you're like this, it might be, but anyway, the product is great, I really love it. Well done guys, it worked. Okay, so somebody nominate somebody from this table to test this product over here. Shovel. Shovel. Okay.
Ah, like this.
So you bring it up. It's a little bit big.
Okay, nice. Ooh.
You're supposed to put the full hand, not the thumb
Okay.
as well. That's
Great. Let's try it again.
Did it work? Okay, we try to get it out.
Is this ceramic glass?
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
part?
Lick it. Oh, nearly.
Try to get it done.
Kathy, ooh, it worked.
And now, how do I release it?
So there's a mechanism. When you squeeze it, just
Oh yeah,
it's
So
also
now I-
detention.
just shove it.
you squeeze it.
Just one question.
Oh,
How a
That's
person
right.
tries to squeeze something?
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that's a good point.
Because they'll be made of something soft and they're not squeezing that much.
It's just like a little.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, okay, so just like with a micro movement.
Yeah, with the micro movement, you trigger the pistol.
Nice. How did it feel? Do you think it's a good product for Kathy?
I think this is a little bit heavy, so maybe
Not the
from
right
a different
material.
material
Space fiber.
could be.
Space fire.
Space fiber as well.
Use the space fiber again.
Wait, this part was
That's a mechanism, right? There's a spring.
okay.
It's a mechanism.
But how do I remove it?
Because
With the squeeze.
there's like a
as well?
grasp that is connected to the spring, so
Okay,
So
so
when
with
you-
always with micro
movement.
squeezing,
Yeah.
I remove it, I release it. And
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay,
And the
great.
material is going to be lighter, but also better to grasp, so it won't be slippery like the
And this
ceramic.
one is adjustable to the size
Of
of my
course,
hand,
of course.
because that could be problematic maybe. Yeah.
Great, I like it. It worked. That was really, really great. I like that one. The only thing that I have is the worry that squeezing it would hurt more if they're really, but if it's a micro movement, yeah, that could work. I really like it. Okay, so somebody from this table to test this one,
Test the bob.
to test the bob.
Well,
Oh yeah,
your
we have
hand
to-
goes like this, and then this goes like that.
okay.
This is a good start so far. Okay.
Okay. Yay! It worked.
Pulling out method in it.
You can try pulling it.
Okay.
Started to do the prototype.
Yeah.
It might not work straight away, but
Shovel. See, we can actually come up
Use the
with something
stopper.
really good.
It doesn't, maybe the other way to
Dropping more than novel.
Even more pins on the.
What's the opposite of a shovel?
She has to use.
It doesn't have that there's more in it.
It really depends on your floor. The unshovel is what you need.
I feel like the shovel is the main product of this whole design thinking workshop. But it worked. Well done. I really like it. Okay, Nicola, after testing the product, how do you feel?
I don't think it was very clear what way I was supposed to grip it. We had a bit of difficulty in it, bringing my other hand to assist putting it on.
Okay.
It wasn't very stable to take out, therefore I had to get the shovel.
So yeah, I think the pulling out thing.
Yeah. And yeah, also is the size an okay size? I don't know. If it's like if a person has to grip onto it like this, is that movement a problem for? I don't know.
You don't need to grip, like it's adjustable strips. So you just put your hands and it is adjustable. So you can actually,
You don't even need to like close your hand, I suppose.
And is it supposed to shoot out though? Or
No.
yeah. Okay, so it's just being.
No.
Okay.
Nice. Nice. Does anyone have any more questions about it?
How would you put it on if you don't have a second person to assist you?
Well,
Or if you have one arm.
you know how to use the product.
go.
There we go.
There is no.
Sorry. It's in. It's done. Get the shovel.
The shovel.
Shower for the restaurant.
Whatever my thing is.
Okay, everyone, that was really great. Do I want to watch? Oh yeah, the ultimate test. Okay, originally they were meant to be these pins, but we gave you the other ones. However, we would love to see if you can actually complete the ultimate test of picking one of these up and sticking it in. Okay? Let's try it. We can do this obviously faster than the last one.
Yeah, well, that
Originally, there was no removal.
you want to.
No, don't worry about the removal. Don't worry about the removal. We know. Okay, here you go.
What do you want? More?
So let's see. Someone can hold the station, right?
Imagine that there's no station doesn't exist. Because it's magnetic.
Station.
Station is a
Okay, we're in. Nice, well done. It works. Do you want to try?
Remove it.
Nice.
Nice.
With the glove, yeah. Just
I
for the
actually have a
support,
question
try
about
this
that
lady.
product. Why not just Blu-Tack instead of like doing it all magnetic and space fiber?
Yeah. Well, we're open to
Refining.
open ideas.
Do you want to try it?
Yeah, I tried the both.
Failed again.
Poor guy.
I love how certain people get so like, but we weren't told about the removals. And you're so like, there's no station thing. I love how protective you get over the product. It's so nice. Okay, but this works. It is the bob. Do you want to try? Da-da-dum. Wow, okay. That was quick. That was quick. Mhm. Get the shovel ready.
There's a mechanism, micro movements.
Oh yeah, the micro. Okay, that wasn't even a challenge for you guys. You really completed that. Okay, so the last part, well, nearly the last part, the micro movements. Normally what you do after testing a product with your user is you just have a little feedback session with the team that you're working on the product with. And in your group, all you need to do is discuss and answer these 3 questions. You can do it on Post-its. It's really just an open discussion about what worked well with your product, what didn't work well, like was there any aspect of it that didn't, and what could be improved upon. And we're just going to take 3 minutes to do that.
I think, to be honest now, I think like the pickup station is vital, right? Because let's just say I want you to pick up like a pin. Okay, I go here. I've got like,
So
I would have to put like one pin on the table.
So
and then
one
try
pickup
and,
station loaded with all the pins you ever need.
Yeah, so you only ever have to buy 100 pins, and you'll really technically never really need to buy any more.
Okay, so pickup station is actually a thing.
Yeah,
It's one learning. It actually exists.
it actually will exist. Absolutely, man.
Actually, I really think it shouldn't be a glove. It should be just like one thing with your finger. Because the only thing you would use it is the index finger. Because with this you can point.
Well, the whole idea, right, is that you don't need to do these fine movements. You just do.
And that's why you don't even have to push the whole thing, because only this part has an effect.
Maybe what didn't work well.
I just put it could be smaller, but I think we've got that. Visibility.
Laser pointing could be a thing.
Like you can't see really
where you're, but because it was so bulky,
it was so
the glove.
bulky, so like you can't really see. If I want to really go into this hole here, it'd be quite difficult.
But also we put it on that finger because that's where we can apply it. But a normal person would have, like you said, it's for humans.
Okay. All right, are we ready? I would love to know. Actually, maybe you could make the point that we were just talking about there about it getting attached to the idea.
I really love all of the ideas that you have shown today. I think they're really cool, fun ideas as well. I just thought it's interesting, first of all, how invested you become in this kind of like silly idea that we just made up with this completely contrived scenario with Kathy. But it's actually a really good point, because I think maybe you have noticed that you also get really attached to the ideas that you work on, because you put some thought into it. And you think like, yeah, I can make this work. I can make the station work. It makes total sense. We don't need to change the idea with the station. Sorry about singling out the station. I mean, this happens to teams all over the world. It happens to our team. It's completely normal. But this is exactly the point of design thinking, that you are asking for feedback and you're actually kind of like challenging and testing your ideas, and you're accepting that, you know, like even an idea that you really, that you feel really attached to might have to be changed or discarded or iterated on. And I think that's a really important point, because I think it is very tempting to kind of like just stick with the original idea and somehow make it even more complicated to just be able to somehow push that on the user, by inventing like, okay, now maybe we have a second glove, and or I don't know, like some other kind of like gimmick. But like I said, that's normal. It's completely normal human behavior, I think. But usually you don't think that you would fall into that trap.
There's so many. This is the story I was saying. There's people who have made apps. There's friends of mine. I know that they're working on apps for like 2 years, and they will not, they're so invested and attached to the idea and the product that they will not just admit that it's not good. If the customer doesn't like it, it's not going to be successful, but they're still adding more things to it, you know, like, oh, maybe if we do this, sometimes it's just, you know, better to scrap it, or iterate on it, or just figure out how to make the thing
But
more
sorry,
useful.
just maybe one more point, because I don't want to dwell on things that don't work. I mean, one thing that was also really cool is, I mean, we started the workshop without even knowing the challenge, and then you, like in a very short amount of time, you all came up with some really interesting and actually innovative solutions. They all came with certain flaws or maybe things that could be improved, but I think this is really cool, because I mean, the materials we gave you are also quite limited. I mean, I was actually surprised to see what you came up with. I wouldn't have dreamt of these ideas. So yeah, good work. Yeah. That's also a really important takeaway, I think, of today, that you can generate these things.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, everybody, round of applause. Sorry, I just clapped at the wrong time. I was like, so I just want to hear from one person from each table what you think could be improved upon with your product, and then we're nearly done, and then I'm going to leave you go. So maybe this table here, what do you think? If you were to iterate on this again, and if you were to improve the product, what would you improve?
The pickup station, we believe, should be a thing, and not just a hypothetical. The pickup station.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
yeah. Everything else other was absolutely flawless. Yeah. He's like.
Make sure that
And also maybe it's a overkill to have a glove. It would be enough just to have something on a finger, because this only the index finger is what we are using.
Yeah, exactly. Like that. Yeah. So I really like the product. Well done. Okay, this table, what would you improve upon?
I would improve the material that we are using at the tip, because I'm not sure if it's holding it perfectly, especially when we want to remove.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, that's my.
We were also thinking of making it more obvious for the user which side to go, because what we learned from the user testing wasn't very clear. So
maybe something like a shape for the hand, so you know where your fingers are going in. Something like that could be.
Yeah, no, I was just thinking, what if Kathy was like, you know, after a few glasses of wine, you know, she's wrecked and she's tired, and she puts it in and she just like presses it down on her finger accidentally. Yeah, you know, So, but anyway, it's really, really great. Okay, well done on that one. I really like it. So what do you think you could improve upon, or what did you come up with from the...
So the materials didn't suit our product here. So when we did this, we just wanted the shape and like the idea, but we just need more flexible material and lightweight for our product to actually be like more user-friendly.
Okay.
Yeah, so we just think it's a matter of testing different materials to find a comfortable fit.
That's really great. That's good to have come up with that at the end. I think it's a really good product, but yeah, the material. And another thing I was thinking about that was the size of it for storage. You know, like you don't want a big, bulky, massive bowl. I know it's not going to be a bowl, but like a softer material. But okay, well done everyone. So basically that is the design thinking workshop, and I think another point to just make at the very end is, and we've already made it, is that in real life when you're running these design thinking, when you're going through the design thinking process, it's not linear. It's constantly, like, say if we had more time now, or if you wanted to like make this whole process over the span of a week, you could keep going back and iterating and improving the product and changing things until you're happy with what you've created. I wanted to do a key highlights activity, but I'm not going to really do it, and maybe we'll just do it as an open discussion instead of just like have a little think about what you learned from today. Was there something that you learned, something that you really liked, or was there any kind of like highlight? Maybe just have a think about it for like a minute, and then we can talk about it just as a group as a way to wrap up. So, would anybody like to share something like a key highlight, a key learning, something, a takeaway that you're going to take from today? If you have something you want to share, you can just put up your hand, like we're in school. Dory.
I have two main takeaways. One is foster creative confidence. So it is not like, okay, I accept that I'm not creative, or I am a creative person, but it's rather like it relies also on the atmosphere. Absolutely, yes. What was created. So I think it's a big takeaway for me, and also don't get too attached to your ideas while you are in the prototyping phase, because then it's gonna be your thinking will be too much limited. Yes, and then you can't come up with a new idea, and maybe then you feel like, oh, I'm not creative. Yes, exactly. And also just don't get too attached.
I really like that. That's great. Thanks so much. Also, what was the first point that you made there? It was something that sparked, your first point was the Creative There's a really, really great book called Creative Confidence. If you haven't read it yet, I would recommend reading it. And that really does kind of like shift your whole mindset around like taking risks and being willing to fail. Really, really great book that has like had a huge impact on our whole company. So yeah, I would highly recommend that. So thanks, Dory, for mentioning those. Dan, do you have anything? Oh, sorry, actually, I'm just, maybe if you want to talk, put up your hand.
I was just surprised by how many, like, really the Crazy 8 exercise really unlocked the creative flow. I was just surprised by my own flow.
Nice.
And I'm not saying these are great ideas, but just the amount of stuff that came naturally by, on to the next one, one. That was...
Having that time pressure is really good sometimes.
Yeah. Because you want to be so perfect sometimes. So I need to make this one idea perfect. Just go wild with loads of imperfect ideas, and then you can iterate later. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a really good takeaway. Thank you. Chris, do you have any?
I thought
calling on people now.
like from a technical aspect, from like kind of learning and doing the workshops, and being like a kind of newbie and an amateur, I really enjoyed like the introduction that you done, and the justification of why we're here, and the validation of why we're here, and what we're going to do, and explaining a few things. I was surprised at how long that took, but that's a good thing, because I think I completely underestimated how long it should normally take to just get people into the groove, rather than 5 minutes, icebreaker, let's get on with this. Yeah. I think it really put me and everyone else at ease as to why we're here. Just a kind of 15-20, it was like a 15-minute intro, I think, or something. So it kind of just put everyone at ease, yeah. So like that was the technical aspect, and the fun aspect was just how we were doing prototypes for an idea that we'd never even thought of. I thought that was really impressive, just as a kind of human connection from that kind of aspect.
Nice. Thanks for sharing. Nicola?
Yeah, I don't know if this is just me personally, but I found it interesting that at the start of the day that we started off as a team, then we broke off into little teams, and then I started to get competitive. Then I was watching everyone else, and then I wanted to beat your team, and then at the end of it we came back and I'm like, oh yeah, we're a team, and then we actually helped each other at the end.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of fun to be,
It's a nice
to watch
dynamic.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. I like that. Thank you.
Well, I found it interesting that it was so easy to get in the zone. So we gradually started doing this exercise, me drawing, you in front of me, and I was like, oh, I don't know how to draw. But then it was just, okay, 1 minute, you just make it, it's easy. Then you have the next exercise, also easy, and then you go deeper and deeper, and then you realize you're making a prototype, and it just feels easy. You're not making any effort, you just get naturally focused. I think that's the cool thing about the whole process.
I like that. That's a really good takeaway. Yeah, and that's the whole point of it. It's just like kind of slowly warming your brain up to thinking, okay, I actually can do this, I can step out of my comfort zone. Thank you for that. Do you want to share something?
Yeah, I want to echo what Peter said, because I think this exercise, especially the one about drawing a door and a house, which everybody knows how to do, makes you feel a bit more confident, like small wins that attack on your confidence about your creativity. Because I think when it's creativity, everybody's a bit self-conscious, because at the end of the day, it's your idea, so you seeing that your idea is not that good, or you're a bit more defensive and maybe afraid to fail, and giving you very easily targets that you can definitely pass makes you more confident to go into bigger things, knowing that you can fail. The safety net is there. It's like there's no need to be afraid.
Yeah, that's a really great point. Thank you for sharing that. Would you like to share something?
Yeah. So in my work, I'm also running some workshops sometimes, and it was very nice to now be on the other side.
Yeah.
To experience what it feels like being the participant of a workshop and not only running it. So it was also nice to catch some ideas from you.
Nice.
How to entertain whilst making the others work.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah.
That's great. I'm glad. That's really cool. I was only saying it to Tim that I wanted to be a participant as well in the workshop, just to really feel it, because I think being up here, it's really hard to even imagine, I think you said it too, imagine how to come up with something like this. I'm just shocked and blown away by what you've created, but it's when you're in it, when you're in that flow, you have the ability to come up with so many cool things. Thank you for sharing that. Like to share something?
For me, it was nice to discover that actually I'm creative.
Exactly.
I just needed the team for it and the atmosphere, so it was a nice discovery, because I thought I'm not this creative. So thank you.
Great. No problem. Yeah, it's like the atmosphere, the environment, and where you are that can have the ability to unlock whatever that creativity inside in you. So I'm glad that came out of you today. And also, yeah, it really did. I love this. The bob. I love it. Do you want to share something?
Yeah, sure. Going last. I love the icebreaker. The beginning, that was really cool. I have not heard that icebreaker before. The what's your job and what did you learn? That was really cool. I wrote that on that actually. And then I really liked that we got a lot of new ideas with the Crazy 8. And then we found that some of the ideas were a bit similar, and then we could let go of it was just our idea, and as long as we were in the group, we were just developing the bob together, and then adding a little bit from all of them.
That's so cool. That's a really cool discovery that you're all aligned. You kind of already had the same thing. That's cool. Thank you so much. Everyone, we did it. We have finished our design thinking workshop. Maybe it's something that you'll take with you if you're running workshops. Maybe you can do this sometime, or even you, Chris, or whatever. Just thank you so much for participating in it, for being here. We had so much fun. Also, thank you, Tim, for being here too. It was really great to have your input and your help and everything. But for now, we're done. We're literally finished. I have my last slide, I think, where it says, that's it for today, my lovely humans. Oh, that's so nice to watch back on. No, really, that was so much fun. And as you could see, there were so many nice concepts and prototypes and laughter. This is the end of the workshop, but we have a special treat. Because we always like to end our workshops on a very, very strong note, and we want to make them impactful and memorable. So we asked our participants to close their eyes and we brought them something very special. Have a look. Okay, so you can open your eyes. We're all going to get one of our workshopper goodie bags for your participation. You can open all your eyes now. This is just a little thank you. This is manic. I can't like that. Mrs. Claus, holy my role is coming. Thank you. Mrs. Claus is actually coming to life. Here we go. You? Yeah. Thank you so much for being here. This is chaos.
This is amazing. Thank you.
No
Cheers.
problem. Thank you. But yeah, that's really it. Everyone, give yourselves a big round of applause. We did it.